When it came to the RWBY Volumes character shorts, I was a fan, but I was also not completely down with it. I mean, when you think about it, all the character shorts up until Adam were completely pointless and useless, really. And the RWBY Volume 4 character short, which was Ruby Rose, just showed off her beating up Grimm, and showing off that, you know, she's a badass character, I guess. Nothing really beyond that. You got brief glimpses of the new looks of Team RWBY, but other than that, there wasn't really anything new. There wasn't anything worth mentioning other than some decent fights, and that's really about it. Then we get to the Weiss character short for Volume 5. And again, it's pretty pointless, man. It's just Weiss fighting Ice Grimm that her sister Winter summoned, and that's really about it. I guess it was cool seeing an updated version of Winter and the new, animation software, but other than that, again, it was pointless and kind of uninteresting. Then we got to the Blake character short, and it's like, what were you doing, Rooster Teeth? This is not a Blake character short, okay? It is an Ilya character short. If you want to make a character short, at the very least, title it correctly. And again, I appreciate Ilya's backstory, I really do, and I don't think this short was completely worthless or pointless, because it did add some characterization and motives to Ilya's character. However, again, it was just, Rooster Teeth not categorizing everything in the right way that kind of boggled me a bit. It's like, where's Blake? Blake, where are you? Where's your centerpiece in all this, huh? Where are you? And it just it felt out of place because it was made to sound like this was about Blake, but it was about Ilya, so it was just kind of felt out of place. Again, not really pointless, but again, not really the best thing ever. And then we get to the Yang character short, which is just a travesty, man, seriously. This is one of the problems I have with Yang's character. She is badass for the sake of being badass, and I absolutely despise it. If you're gonna make an awesome badass female character, at least make them fucking compelling, give them some character traits other than being badass, and just make their motives clear. What's this? She's fighting a Grimm to protect her sister. Cool. I think anybody who saw their siblings in danger would want to protect them. So I mean, what's your point here? It's just a sibling thing that siblings are supposed to do for one another. Help each other out. Protect each other. It's just kind of what you do. Your family. It's kind of, it's kind of expected of you. So it didn't really add anything new. It really didn't. It was pointless. The only one that really added anything out of these shorts was the Blake one, which again was more Ilya oriented. However, we then get to the Adam character short, which I think is the first fulfilling character short we actually got. And here today I'm talking to you about why the Adam Taurus character short is by far the best character short we have from RWBY. So without further ado, let's get into this. So the Adam character short. The reason primarily why I think this character short is the best one by far is because though it doesn't convey it very well, because you don't really have that much time, it's only 7 minutes. Granted, 7 minutes is far longer than any of the other character shorts, but I digress. It didn't have enough time to clearly express what the character short was trying to get across. I mean, it got it across, just not as effectively as I would probably have liked it to be. But nonetheless, again, I digress. The Adam character short slowly but surely shows how Adam got to where he is now, and I can appreciate that. However, if instead of that, I actually kind of would have rathered the character short focus on Adam's motives, like what happened to him specifically, that made him have this sort of animosity towards humans, and why he decided to join the White Fang, why he decided to, pull heists and whatnot before he was in the White Fang, because clearly in the short, this was before he was with the White Fang. So, what happened to him to make him want to do this? I mean, this gave some, depth to him, seeing his slow transition into where he is now, but we still don't have a defining motive to really give him any meaning, I guess. And I really would have preferred a motive in a 7-minute trailer than I would have seeing him slowly become who he was. I would rather see that play out in the show than in the short. But it's a small complaint, really, because the message got across, and you kind of saw, what happened to get him where he is. So at the end of the day, it's not really that I don't appreciate it or don't like what they did. It was just, no, it kind of is. I wish they would have given him a motive. But again, I digress for like the 4th time. So this character short was probably the best because, again, it showed how Adam got to where he was. How he decided to rob stores and get what the Fondas deserve. It's all about equality for him, in the beginning at least. Then it slowly but surely shows him getting a bit more aggressive and a bit more, I don't want to say egotistical, because it didn't really show that in the short, but I guess a bit more prideful in a sense, with him cutting down the human, which, by the way, Adam was completely in the right for killing said human, because in the trailer, well, we'll discuss that later, but he was in the right. Just keep that in mind for now. Adam was in the right for killing the human because, well, the human was coming after him and Gira and all of them, so, yeah. So when the Fondas celebrated Adam saving Gira's life, they called him a hero, they were celebrating, and that was kind of the moment that made me say, oh, okay, so he is, trying to save Fondas, but I think he's letting this kind of excitement of being a hero and being the savior of the Fondas kind of go over his head a bit. And then on, you kind of just see him gradually go deeper and deeper into more violent tendencies and more, let's just straight up kill some fools. So I really appreciated the fact that they showed the gradual kind of sinking into madness that Adam went through. Again, I would have preferred to see a motive, but this was good nonetheless. So let us talk about the scene that I believe is one of the most important scenes of this character short and for Adam as a character. And that is obviously the interaction between him and Blake. Many people were, when I saw reactions to it, were like questioning it, like, because we only know Adam as this ruthless killer who manipulates and controls, but I don't think that was Adam in this short. I think Adam was genuinely trying to be nice to Blake, genuinely trying to tell her what happened, and I don't think when Adam killed that human that he was trying to kill him, because if you rewatch everything, he wasn't straight up killing people. He was knocking them out and just taking them out of commission. He wasn't landing any killing shots. So when Adam did kill that one human, and let's preface this so we get it all in perspective, he was completely justified in that. That human was going up to Gira closer and closer, shooting and shooting at a closer and closer distance. That being said, he had a more successful chance of harming Gira and potentially killing him. So I believe when Adam did the thing with his blade, which we assume is his semblance, and I think it is a semblance, he was completely justified in killing said human. I mean, I don't think he meant for it, but I also think, he was justified in it. The human was coming at them, and if you watch the trailer, the Fondas aren't even fighting back in the beginning. They're just trying to get through, as Gira said, they're trying to pass through.
We're just trying to pass through.
Or going through, I mean. So the Fondas weren't fighting back. Gira was trying to calmly explain everything. and the humans were just straight up attacking them so that they don't go through where they needed to go. So at the end of the day, it was the humans' fault for, picking a fight with them. But I digress. When Blake brought up the whole, well, this isn't the first time humans have killed on your little, you've led attacks and whatnot. I don't understand what Blake means by this. You are a race of people fighting another race of people because there is tensions, racial tensions. Obviously, people are going to get hurt and potentially killed. Blake, what's your point? That's what happens when you're fighting. You get hurt and you can get killed too. I don't think Blake's argument holds up. Adam, again, from the scene we saw, which we really only have to go on, that was in self-defense, man. He was justified in that action. It wasn't until the Sienna, Ilya, and Adam versus this Schnee Dust Company that it kind of looked like, Adam was going over the edge. But I digress. Blake's point doesn't make sense because, again, you're two races fighting against each other in almost damn near a secret war. People are going to get hurt and people are going to die. So I completely side with Adam. And, again, to get on to the original point of what I'm trying to make, people were unsure what Adam was doing. Was he trying to manipulate Blake? Was he trying to control her? So on and so forth. No. I think the Adam we saw there, he genuinely cared about Blake. He genuinely cared about the Faunus and his people. I don't think Adam at that time was this self-righteous person who just wants to see all humans die and burn and all that jazz. I really think Adam was being genuine when he apologized for mentioning the fact that Blake's parents left the fight. I think he meant that. I think he meant, I'm sorry that I brought them up. I think he genuinely, didn't mean to bring them up. It just came up in the heat of the moment. Like most, insensitive things come up in arguments. So again, I think because it was Blake. I think it was because that Blake was there that Adam was tame. I think it's why he was calm. I think it's why Adam was, kind of semi-good, but not really good. Adam was a character who, in the end, there was one person that was his one and only light. And whether you're willing to admit that or not, it was Blake. Adam's light was Blake. Now, knowing that Blake was Adam's only light, sort of, his only redemption, kind of, I guess you could say. I kind of understand a bit more why Adam acted why he did in Volume 5, but I'm still not completely over the fact that he acted like a disappointed, disapproving boyfriend about, him being butthurt over the fact that the girl left him. I don't get that. I mean, he was angry at Blake. That was very clear from Volume 3. But he was still calm. He was cold and he was ruthless. He didn't care. That's why he stabbed Blake and hurt Yang by cutting her arm off. So why did he lose his cool in that moment? Who really knows? Rooster Teeth has the answers and I don't think they're going to tell us. But I digress. I think that Adam Torres, when Blake left him, he just kind of gave in to the madness that, he felt, but he could keep control because Blake was there. I think when Blake left Adam, that Adam started to slowly but surely give in to his more violent tendencies and, start to just straight up kill fools. At the end of the day, Blake really was the one thing that could, in a sense, control Adam and his violent urges because, again, he had these urges, but he did not act on them because he had Blake backing him up and supporting him, and he was under the influence that, she still believed in him and she still, believed in what she was fighting for and what he was fighting for. Adam, at the end of the day, I feel like he needs to be redeemed in the sense that his character needs to get back to the roots. He needs to become cold and calm again. He needs to, be angry at Blake, be angry at the world, and he also needs to be given a motive. But I don't think he should be going around acting like some butthurt boyfriend about, how the girl left him. I don't think he should be acting like that. Because that wasn't a part of the charm of his character. The part of the charm of his character was how he was cold, calm, and ruthless. How we don't know that much about him. How he fought for the Faunus, yet he also fought for himself and only himself. So at the end of the day, he needs to get back to his roots. Now let's talk about the big thing that really kind of struck me. I really liked this about the short. And that was the beginning line. The line he said in the beginning of the short, and then the line he said at the end of the short. In the beginning he said, "It's time we got what we deserved." Then at the end of the short he said, "It's time I got what I deserved." And I really like that because it shows how in the beginning that he was doing this for the entirety of the Faunus. How he genuinely cared about each and every one of the Faunus. And how he genuinely felt that he was fighting for them, trying to stick up for the Faunus, and have them be treated like normal human beings by the normal human beings. But by the end of the short, as we see throughout the short too, how he gradually changed over time, by the end of the short, he said I get what I deserved, which means he became more self-absorbed and self-righteous in his cause. And I really, really do kind of like that slight little change. Like on the surface, it may not seem very, important, I guess. But if you want to analyze it and you want to go in depth with it, then it's a great significant moment. A lot of people more or less got hyped up for the fact that it's time I get what I deserved, and they took that as, oh yeah, you're going to get your ass kicked. No, I think that line was not there for that reason. I don't think people should have get hyped for that. I don't know why people kind of hyped over that moment. Because we know his assault on Haven failed, and in a sense he did get what he deserved, but that kind of was taken out of context because it was supposed to be implying that how he's gotten more self-righteous and selfish as time has gone on. And I really, really appreciate how in the beginning he genuinely cared about the Faunus and fighting for their equality, to be treated like ordinary people, and then be shown how he doesn't care, and now he only does this for himself to feed his own lust for power. So in conclusion, the reason why this short is by far the best short of all is because we actually had meaning in it. Again, in the RWBY short, we didn't get anything. In the Weiss short, we didn't get anything. In the Blake short, we got something. It just wasn't Blake. It was just Ilya. And so again, it's more or less just confusing how Rooster Teeth went with a Blake short when it was really an Ilya short. So, it is what it is. And in the Yang short, we just got, kind of a confirmation of why I hate Blake so much. Which I know is a very unpopular opinion, but whatever. So essentially, the shorts we had up until this point were pretty useless and pointless, aside from the Ilya one, to an extent. And we didn't really get that much substance, meaning, or points in it. In this one, in the Adam short, we got something meaningful. We got something impactful and something that added to a specific character. And I can really appreciate that, because finally we got something worth of value. Because if you didn't know, Volume 5 was the most nothing happens volume in all of RWBY. And oh my god, I was so blind to that. And hopefully hopefully Volume 6 goes deeper into Adam. I mean, if it showcased Adam in this trailer, then I'm going to assume he's going to be focused on this coming volume. That being said, again, this trailer was the best because we got to know more about Adam, how he started and how he ended up where he is, his kind of relationship with Blake, and it was overall really enjoyable and really meaningful because, again, we got something from it. It wasn't pointless fighting and badass for the sake of being badass. We got something useful, and I really appreciate that. And with that being said, you guys, that is the reason I believe the Adam short is by far the best character short we've gotten to this point. Again, just more meaning behind it, just more awesome, I guess, meanings. That's the only way I can really put it that makes sense. We got meaning and depth in this one. And again, the Ilya one was okay, but no, it was titled Blake. Should have been titled Ilya. And yeah, with that being said, you guys, if you agree with me in this video, like. If you disagree with me, like. If you disagree with me, put it in the comments. If you agree with me, put it in the comments. And with that being said, I will be uploading another video soon. I cannot tell you what it is at the moment because I want it to be a surprise. And that being said, you guys, if you like this video rated 1 through 10, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that fun crap. And as always, this is your boy Nick Bruin, out with the yang.